They gon' love me for my ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live it. They gon' love me for my ambition.
Looking at the Boom 500, overall movement was a downside movement. We've been moving very bearish to the downside. Mark on our low there. This is our lowest low that we reached, and this is our recent high that we're going to focus on, because that's where the market reversed and started moving to the downside. As you can see, you had that clear impulse there. Let's zoom into the 4-hour time frame so you can see clearly what I'm pointing out. Okay, on the 4-hour time frame, it's very clear that we are in a bearish move. We're looking for sales to the downside to continue that momentum to that low we have marked there. From that high, we're going to that low. That will be our overall target. So looking at that, we had this let me draw it. We had this clear impulse, then we're forming into this correction. That's what we look for entry to continue that move to the downside. That's what we'll be looking at. So marking that high, that this is what I call an inflection point. So marking our inflection point, then marking, connecting the lows there of the correction, see what structure is forming. See, it's not yet a clear structure, so let's zoom in into the 1-hour time frame to see the overall clear, better picture. So this is what shows on the 1-hour time frame. It shows us a form of an expanding bearish flag. You can see that it's form of a bearish flag. We'll look for an entry on this flag. Let me show you how we are going to take entries on here. So looking at this, let me fix the trend line. You can see it's very clear that from here we're moving all the way to retest the trend line there over the ray line. That'll be a nice entry. That's our first entry that we're looking for. But remember, that's the highest probable entry. There's a highest probable entry and there's a possible entry. So first I'm going to show you the highest probable. This is the one we're anticipating from this trend line here at the top of the structure. And the way we are going to take this, we're going to take two entries, either a risk entry, a reduced entry with the tight flag there. So this is the tight flag. If it forms, we're taking it, scaling in into the market after we have taken a risk entry at the top. So the way I would like to put my stop loss, anywhere above that ray line there, it's okay, anywhere above that. So the point is not to be too tight with the stop loss, because I like to give the market enough room to breathe so it does not take me out and then continue my direction. There's nothing that destroys your psychology than being tagged into the market and then being tagged out. So it's very important that you don't focus on getting the highest percentage. Just give the stop loss room to breathe. But with the tight flag, you can reduce the risk there and then lower the pips. But you can take a reduced risk entry, which is the safest entry compared to the risk entry within that tight flag. So this was the highest probable entry to go to the downside. But let me show you the possible entry. So this is a possible entry. It's not very high probable like the one on the top, but still a good valid entry. So this is how we take this good valid entry. So we'll be hoping that the market will hover around, maybe go down there from the flag, but in meantime, and then finally reach that double top area. So this will be a double top within our bear flag. So in that double top, we could have the tight flag push down. This for extra confirmation, but what we'll be necessarily looking for would be our first entry, which is exactly at that top. But let me show you, this is how the structural approach will look like. So if this is what I'll call a 1 2 3 and ascending within the bearish flag, that will be extra confirmation. But that's one of the good valid, very very good valid entry that even if it approach impulsively, we'll take it over there. Stop loss will be just above the ray line there, and that's enough for us to take our first target to that trend line. That will be a first target. So we'll be waiting for that move there, and then the other entry will be that tight flag, just perfect over there. Let me mark it, the tight flag. So you wait for the tight flag and take that risk or reduce entry within that tight flag. But the first entry will be at the gray line double top. That's what we'll be focusing on. So that would be squeezing in our stop loss there, and then take. So this is how I manage the boom 500 after I've taken the entry at the double top area. So you can see that this formed a very expanding channel, a bearish expanding channel to the downside. So we still live into the trade, but I'm still looking to scale in more. So I'm looking for another continuation there for me to continue taking additional entry on the boom 500. That's what we'll be looking for. There will be another bearish flag, something like that, that retests to that area and it forms another move, then completes there for third touch. That would be the highest probable entry. Then I'll likely take there to the downside with the risk entry at the top area. So still right now I'm still managing it. As soon as it impulses below there, move it to break even and keep on looking in some profit. I think that's how we're just gonna manage it, but not yet to be aggressive because we could retrace back. Let's wait and wait how the market forms.